Pro boxing fans here with Dean Whyte. Dean, pleasure seeing you once again. You seem to be everywhere. You like the ghost of boxing, mate. You're everywhere.
Yeah, well, that's what it takes, man. You know what I mean? All I do is hustle. The grind never stops. You know what I mean? Close mouth. Yes, my guy, the champ, Thunder, the Thunder. Follow the Thunder. He's gonna do the smoke Saturday night. My guy, woo wee. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Closed mouths don't get fed. You know, me sitting silent in one corner doing nothing. You know what I mean? I move around. I try and make time for boxing. I love boxing. I like partying, business, and boxing. In that order, whatever order you want to mix it in. But it's all a bit of a party and a bit of a, you know what I mean? I'm a man that likes vibes and energy. I'm in the gym all the time with the boys. But like I said, the shows are really kicking off, man. They're really, really doing well. I've just announced today a new show, the 25th of June, a co-promotion with Victor Smith in Essex, Perfectly. So I'll have a few boys on there. So anyone local wants to come down and enjoy the night. It's not going to be our usual glitz and glam black box global show, but nevertheless we'll bring the energy. The right energy will be in there, car. We're going to be there. You feel me?
It must be crazy, man. Like, what's it been like?
6 months, 3 shows.
6 months, 3 shows, but you've got to see the good side and probably the bad sides of boxing.
Absolutely. Listen, being in this side of the fence, in the events factor, dealing with the events organisation and applications for, fights and stuff, it's not easy. It is really not easy, very stressful. And I did say that last week. I had a nag about it last week. I can't bother to nag about it again, but because I'm feeling pretty good, we had a successful show. All board members at the show was ecstatic and happy, over the moon, how efficient the staff were and liaising with them. So that makes me happy to show that I know we're on the right road. And they were just complimenting us a lot, and that just shows what we're doing. We're on the right road, and we're doing it really, really well. For someone who's had 3 shows, we're doing the right thing. So it's all good, man. It is hard. Like I said, I don't want to keep nagging about shit. I'm just going to make the best of what our situation is. Yes. And just enjoy the moment, man. Right now, I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty tired because after the event, people don't see that there's still a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of paperwork to go through, listing everything, going through, paying the staff what we have. Got a big team of people. And but like I said, I love the boxing, man. I love it. I enjoy it. And it brings me nothing but satisfaction that I can put and help and give so many people opportunities, give them jobs. You know what I mean? And that's what this is all about, opportunity, helping people that are around me. There's no point me making money and they're not making any money. And I'm still going to have to give them anyway. So I'd rather help them build a position for themselves. We're creating jobs, we're creating things and opportunities so that if they create stuff there, making money there, they can go on to get further jobs from there because people, might hire them as well. So listen, right now I'm not gonna lie, I'm in a good place today, bit tired, but that's just life. I think I'm always tired. Got a bit of a suntan over the last couple of days, so I'm happy with that. And the show must go on.
I want to ask you about the main board that's behind you, Buatsi versus Richards, is the reason why we're here. Talk to me about that fight. Great fight. You know both fighters quite well as well. Just talk to me about the fight. How did you see that fight playing out?
Listen, it's a hard fight. Like I said to the other kids, I'm going to be more leaning to Craig Richards. He's my boy, our brethren. Buatsi's my brethren as well, but obviously different kind of teams, different kind of times. I do a lot more with Craig, but this is a hard fight, make no bones about it. Craig, I feel, is the more veteran, experienced guy as a professional boxer. And the amateur pedigree is all with Buatsi, silver medalist, doing what he's done as an amateur. I mean, this is a hard fight, man, you know what I mean? Styles make fights, but Craig can gather beer confidence, and a lot of confidence, if people don't understand what beer is, a lot of confidence from the fact that he lost by 1 point against Bivol, and he dethroned the undisputed champ, or the pound for pound of our era and time right now, in Canelo Alvarez. So I feel he's got a lot of confidence. I saw the media workout yesterday. He's looking sharp, he's looking light, he's looking fast, and he's underestimated his power, because he's actually stopped a lot of decent kids, Craig, in his last few fights. So people need to take note of what Craig's doing. So I think this will give him, whoever comes out on top of this is going to be obviously the leading beacon for our UK stuff. You have got the other guys out there doing stuff, but I think these 2 boys here, South London boys, are going to be the lighting beacon and doing stuff, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. Do you want to move away and talk a little bit about boxing with yourself? First of all, when we go to the heavyweights, picture doing the rounds of Dillian and AJ, you know, it's good to see that they can...
It's great. If you're a boxing fan, you want to see this. You know, these guys have done great for themselves in their lives, changing their lives, becoming multi-millionaires, making that kind of money. There's a very small population, percentage of boxers that actually reach to that elite level, you know what I mean, that makes those kind of numbers. And it's credit that those guys put their whole life and their time into boxing, and it's paid off. You know what I mean? Buatsi mentioned it, talking about going to America, Virgil Hunter, and you're going to have to make these sacrifices to get to that kind of thing, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's good to see that they're shaking hands, and maybe, who knows, there might be a fight down the line that they can do it again, you know what I mean? So, big up those guys.
I do want to ask you your thoughts on the rematch between AJ and Usyk. How do you see that one playing out?
It's a hard fight. I hope the slight adjustments that AJ needs to make, he makes. I'm going to be rooting for him to win, of course. I'm not. That's just a foregone conclusion that I will be rooting for him. Does he make those adjustments? I believe he will, because I'm sure listen, when you look in the mirror, you know deep down in yourself, you could say to yourself, I made this error, this or this. Or his team, I'm hoping they've seen the things they need to do. It's a hard fight. It's a fucking hard fight. People keep saying he needs to pose himself and become a bit more physical. That's not really his style, you know what I mean? But nevertheless, hopefully he does have some more form of a physicality. He's not the person that, like Derek, he's never going to be that. But he just needs to make the right adjustments, the distance control, his foot placement, where his foot is against the southpaw, where your foot should be. Little things like that. And then I think hopefully he'll regain his belts, and that'll be great for the UK and great for everyone. You know what I mean?
We need to talk about Tyson Fury, who's, I don't know whether it's in jest, but he sort of said...
He's getting about like, was he? And kicking cars. Bow, bow. He's a soccer player as well, Tyson Fury. Hell of a right foot, Tyson Fury.
But what do you make of him? You look, he's...
I make shit of that, man. The motherfucker's a hell of a talent. The fucking guy, he deserves to let his hair down. I'm very sorry. I'm not really interested in getting into anything. I like a drink. I work hard. He works extremely hard. He needs to let his hair down. Credit to him, big him up, man. Look, he's a human being. They make errors, man. It's just one of them, you know what I mean? So people just need to let him be. Let him be the champ when he's fighting. He does what he does in the ring. And then outside the ring, he's just a human being. He wants to live his life, get drunk, make mistakes. And then unfortunately, he might have to pay for them at some time. But let the man live his life. He deserves it.
That's fair enough. I wasn't going to allude to that anyway. But what I'm saying is, obviously, in jest, whether it's in jest, he's announced his retirement. But if Tyson...
I'd like to see him back as a boxing fan. I'd like to see other fights. I'd like to see the rematch with Dillian. I'd like to see the AJ fight. I'd like to see him even go on and take on, like Lennox Lewis said, some of the new guard, and let him beat them and see if he is actually, you know, the best to ever come from these shows, because that's what Lennox done. So I think that's only right that he maybe tries to do a similar thing. Yeah.
I want to get prediction for two fights that are going to be announced, it seems. First of all, you spoke about Derek Chisora just then. There's a fight with Adam Kawanaki, who's a big hit. What do you make of that fight?
That's a brilliant fight. Kawanaki lost twice to Helenius, right? Helenius, big puncher. People was discrediting that fight with Dillian, with Helenius, saying, who's Helenius? He's a bum. And then fast forward, he's destroyed one of America's great hopes that was coming through. He can punch like a fucking mule. And obviously caught Dill, and Dill was like, whoa, that fucking right hand, I need to get out of there. And obviously he boxed smart and managed to, you know, get his feet back and get the win. But, you know, people were mugging him off, talking about Helena. He's mugging Helena, saying, who is he? And this, he's past his sell by day. And look at him, he's had a resurgence. It's boxing, you know. This game is not an easy game. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day. But, you know, that's a good fight, though. But Kawanaki's good boxer, fast hands, can do his thing. Let's see what Derek does. I'll be rooting for Derek.
And the final one, Joyce versus Joseph Parker, seems to be close to being announced. The announcement's not come out yet, but there's been a lot of talk. Talk to me about that one. How do you see that one playing out?
That's a hard fight. Joyce is the juggernaut for a reason. Obviously, the speed and movement's going to be with Parker, agility. But obviously the strengths and that jab, he's got a hell of a jab, Joyce. It's actually an interesting fight. It's just who can impose themselves and, you know, Joyce is a nice guy. Parker's a very nice guy. Always humble, nice, very polite. So, you know, whoever the best man wins, you know what I mean? I'll be rooting for a great fight, and whoever wins, wins. Obviously, Joyce is from Wandsworth at Putney, like kind of my ends, isn't it? But he's not an ends man, but he's just a guy that's boxing and doing his too. So big him up. I think it's a good hard fight because he's got a great jab. So Parker would have to come under that to get in, to get busy. Let's see, but Parker normally is Tyson Fury's main sparring partner, so he's used to dealing with the big guys and doing stuff. I'll definitely be there to watch that fight. You know what I mean? So big up them too.
This final one, if there was one fight you wanted to be made in this year, 2022, what would that one fight be?
Big up Charlo and them as well, and his trainer, Derek James, my guy. You know, becoming undisputed. I feel like Canelo should be, maybe that fight should be made at, you know, to make it easier, as Canelo's, you know, the pound for pound great and what, he should just go down to middleweight and try and fight him instead of him coming up, because that means he'll be giving away too much. I'd like to see him come down to middleweight. You know what I mean? He can go up and down like he's done throughout his whole career. He should go down and see Charlo and see if he can snatch them belts. But that's a fight I'm sure fans would like to see.
Cool. Always a pleasure to talk to you, man. It might happen, you don't know. But anyway, Dean Whyte, it's a pleasure, man.
Like I said, June the 25th, Perfectly. Victor Smith in conjunction with Black Box Global. We're doing it again. We're running it back. So anyone's local, anyone wants to DM me, hit me up. Hit up the boys that are going to be fighting, Ify Porter, Spencer Oakman, and anyone else that we add to that bill. Should be a good night. And tune in. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for talking to Pro Box fans.